Okay, so welcome to this evening's Fertility Network UK webinar for East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month 2024. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to start by welcoming you all. This is, as I said, the East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month webinar event. And I'm Jenny Akona-Mensah. I'm the Ethnic Minorities Communities Project Worker at Fertility Network UK. And part of the work of Ethnic Minority Communities Project is to provide support, information, and resources to people from minority communities that are affected by fertility issues. So you may have come to a webinar before, or this may be your first time. You're more than welcome, and thank you for joining us. So as part of East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month, we want to raise awareness of traditional Chinese medicine, which comes from East and Southeast Asian communities. So in line with this year's theme, which is changing seasons, this year's East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month offers a reflection on the cyclic nature of life. And we have an amazing guest speaker today joining us, Professor Qi from Asante Academy of Chinese Medicine, and he'll be talking about traditional approaches to supporting your fertility. So as I said earlier, the webinar is being recorded and it will be available on our website and via our YouTube channel within the next week or two. We're aware that not everyone can join us on the night, so please check our website and the YouTube channel where you can view the webinar again. All of our webinars are free, but we are a small charity and we do rely on donations. So if you're able to make a small donation to help us to put on these webinars, we'll be really grateful. You can text to donate by texting FNUK and the amount that you want to donate to 70085. So for a one-off donation of £5, you can text FNUK 5 to 70085. Or to donate £3, you would text FNUK 3 to 70085. So thank you in advance to everyone who feels able to do this, as it does make a real difference to us all. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker for tonight, Professor Song Qi, founder and principal of Asante Academy of Chinese Medicine, has practiced and taught traditional Chinese medicine worldwide for over 40 years. He started to learn his skills very early when he was 13 years old, apprenticed to 3 herbal masters in his own province, Hubei, China. He was medically qualified in both Chinese medicine and Western medicine in Canton University of Traditional Chinese Medicine in 1982. His clinical success as a leading consultant of traditional Chinese medicine in the UK since 1986 has been featured in The Observer, The Daily Mail, Financial Times, and on the BBC, CNN, ITV, Channel 4, and many, many other broadcasting media throughout the world. He is twice listed in the Evening Standard's top 50 health practitioners and London's 100 best alternative experts, respectively. He is simply brilliant. And that's a quote directly from the London Evening Standard on the 8th of May, 2000. So Professor Song Qi has been successfully promoting and providing acupuncture services in the NHS in hospitals such as the Royal Free, Whittington and North Middlesex hospitals, working as an acupuncture consultant at the Royal Free Hospital. He has also been involved in research programs in traditional Chinese medicine, various London hospitals, and was instrumental in setting up the BSc Honours and MSc courses in traditional Chinese medicine at Middlesex University. So there's an extensive, as you can see, Professor Qi's experience as a founder and Association of Traditional Chinese Medicine, the president of the British Society of Chinese Medicine, and the vice president of Pan-European Federation of Traditional Chinese Medicine Societies. He's actively involved with the UK Department of Health in the process of statutory regulation of professional practice, and he is a member of its regulating working group. So Professor Qi is well known for treatment of skin disorders, allergies, diabetes, gynecological conditions, I'll say that properly, infertility, epilepsy, emotional disorders, and many, many others. He practices at Asante Academy and a number of other clinics in London. He also travels internationally to treat patients. Above all, he's a very kind man and willing to help and give honest advice to people. So we're really delighted to have you join us today. And I will hand over to you, Professor Key. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for your lovely introduction. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for your coming for this webinar. In fact, this is my first time to do the webinar. Of course, I am a teacher. I'm a professor teaching for more than 40 years, and but I always do the face-to-face talk. Teaching, but never do the webinar. But this is a new sort of technology. So when I got the invitation, I thought, okay, I do my best. I do this. Hopefully, you can sort of learn something today, and then maybe for you, understanding of Chinese medicine and how we treating the infertility, perhaps will be some help for you. So I'll try to my best. Now, as I said, I've been working as a doctor and a teacher for more than 40 years. And just in London alone, I've been working here more than 38 years. So it's been a long time. And of course, before I came to London, I was a teacher in Chinese Medical University in Guangzhou, which is one of the top Chinese medical university, for a few years there. So today, we are talking about infertility and how to treating infertility in Chinese medicine. Now, when we talk about infertility, perhaps I want to make little things clear. Number one, we have to talk two sides because there's a male and a female sort of sides. There's female infertility, there's a male infertility. Because according to the latest lot of study, there's about 25% of the women have a problem. They cannot get conceived naturally, and then there's a similar kind of proportion of men as well. They have 25% of the men have a problem with the sperm, and they cannot sort of have this ability to make their lady to get pregnant. So there's a two-side story. So perhaps let me just more focus on the female side. Maybe that's what people generally talking about. But as I said, I just don't want to forget there's a male side. So I'll perhaps in the future we'll talk about the male side. Now for the female side, infertility, and also want to get kind of sort of the concept right. Now, first of all, what is infertility? And just simple, of course, is people can't conceive a baby. That's just simple. But in fact, there's quite a few things I want to make sure people understand. And what we said normally about infertility for a lady is normally we say this woman, and in the sort of a right age, let's say sort of a young lady, and they've been living together, have a normal sex life with the partner, and normally and over, in theory, should be over 2 years without any successful sort of fertility, even miscarriage or something like that. So this is normally 2 years in the old fashion. So people start to seeking and kind of sort of investigation or the treatment. So in other words, it's not just say, well, you married last month or 3 months ago, had this 3 months, I have no baby, so I'm getting panic. So I would just for go see doctor. So for those people, just don't be, too panic. Be patient. So normally give you at least a year or maybe even 2 to try. So you probably will naturally conceive. So that's number one. So we say it's not simply say, oh, you tried a few months and you got to panic. Now, and also the infertility, there's in fact there is two kind of infertility. It's like there's one primary, or secondary. So what that means is that it's like primarily the sort of primary sort of infertility is talking about a lady never get pregnant before, and so therefore, and so that's one thing. Doctor will need to investigate a lot of things. And secondary infertility is means people may had children before or had pregnancy before, somehow terminate or some by whatever means or reasons. So and not successful or successful, and now they want to. A few years later, they could not do again. So these are because secondary. So, but anyway, so it doesn't matter how we classify or what do we call them, sort of a different infertility. But infertility for women, basically, there's two major issues as we understand, or public we should understand. Number one, of course, is we call organic issues, means the organ, or is the mechanical issues, something wrong in the mechanics of the body. Say, for example, the fallopian tubes are blocked, the both sides. So therefore, the sperm or the egg cannot passing through. So that's something quite often. So this means there are some. So doctor, that's why will check the people. So they will give you some kind of sort of a test, and then to tell you, say your tubes are blocked or not blocked. That's, or maybe something have, let's say, have a fibroids. Some people have lots of quite big fibroids inside uterus. So therefore, they cannot. So that there's no free space. So in other words, people can't get pregnant because the fibroids. So this all we call them mechanical issues, and of course there's another issues of the uterus. Depends on the shape of the uterus. Depends on how big, how small, and even their sort of depends on the falling frontwards or backwards. So there's all these things that have some kind of sort of influence of ladies' fertility. So these things, obviously, the hospital doctor now have a good scanning, and through the scan, they can pretty much tell whether you have this sort of mechanical problem or not. But this is in fact it's not big issues, but the big issues is really what called a functional problem. So another big group is people without any reason. So in other words, many doctors had a checkup, and then they did all the blood tests, scan, X-ray, or even put a camera and look at it inside the water, and they could not find anything too wrong. And sometimes they call them unexplained sort of infertility. They can't explain, in other words. So what is the problem? And this is a big chunk of the people. Now, so what I want to say, I want you understand there's a two kind of this infertility. If it's a mechanical ones, so say for example, if people really tubes are completely blocked for a long time, but of course that's different issue. That's we need to do something to open the blockage or do something. But again, even so-called blockage, I have a lot of lady come to me. They've been told the tubes are blocked, but and then sometimes the blockage can be permanently blocked, or sometimes can be not non-permanently blocked. What it means, like say for example, I tell people, for example, your nose, like nostrils, sometimes when you get cold, the flu, your nose are blocked, so you can't breathing through. And then after a few days later or weeks later, and your nose just suddenly open, so you can breathe through the nose. So therefore, some kind of blockage in the fallopian tube. In Chinese medicine, we think is what we call the dampness blocked, just like your nostril being blocked by mucus, by something. And so that is still, I have helped people, that still can be reopened by some kind of treatment. So this is what we call the kind of sort of even the mechanical problem. And the other mechanical problem, like for example, fibroids, that's very difficult. If there's a huge fibroids in the uterus, so as doctor normally suggests have operation. But there's another kind of sort of mechanical issue is endometriosis, because a lot of people, have this diagnosis of endometriosis, means the blood, some kind of sort of stuck in the system, cause lots of pain and things. So, and that in Chinese medicine, although we say it's mechanical, but can be helped, because this endometriosis, not only doctor can solve them by using operation, but we can also do medicine or acupuncture can dissolve them, and not use the words dissolve them. In other words, to reduce those endometriosis. But anyway, so for the function one, and obviously this is a big issue, because a lot of women nowadays start family relatively late. As so you may ask me, what is what do you mean by late? Well, obviously, we are we're a natural animal in the way the human is a natural in the world. So it's like all other animals. You can't have a baby. You can't have your sort of your children or your baby when you're very young or when you're very old. So your body can only produce offspring in a certain period of your life. So, and this in Chinese medicine, for women, we have this simple saying. We say it's like we have 7. This figure. So we said, woman, the body, every 7 years make changes. So like the first 7 years, 7 years old, so the body start to teething. So that's why you see the girls normally teething early than boys. Men's 8, so late. So second 7 is 14. So that's time should start at puberty. But of course nowadays, women start puberty, girls start puberty much earlier. I'll talk about that later why. And then to the third 7, 21. So the woman start to mature. So that's the best time to start have a baby from the 21 to 28 to 35. So this period of time is what we call the peak of the womanhood. So is the best time to be mother. And then after that, so your body the fertility ability become going down. So to the 7 is called 49. So that's normally women start to menopause, and then or even some people finish period around that time. Although nowadays people can use hormone replacement treatment, but that's not really natural. So we say naturally. So woman is around this time, sort of a time have ability to have a baby. So the best time should be between 21 to 35, or even this is the best time. Of course, it's really late is okay, but it's still struggle. So nowadays, because the social kind of sort of a thing changed compared with many years before. So women have the education, have the job, have the work. So normally many ladies, they don't even get married, before 30 or even 35. So therefore, in other words, their start of thinking of a baby is pretty much quite late. So that's why, naturally nowadays, many women, even, nothing really wrong, they just can't get it. So this is the problem. Now, so what we can do then? So and also, I just want to say, because infertility have another issue, is because of the nowadays many girls, as I say, start period quite early. Normally, it should be 14 around that time, won't be 13. But now some girls even start 12, 11, or 10, or even earlier. So is that good? No. If you start too early, it means we said it's like you are in a woman's body. We all say it's like flower. If you flower early, of course, you get sort of a shrink early. So you cannot last forever. And then it's not good to have a too early period. But then people say, what's wrong with that? Why have an early period? Well, there's another big issue. It's because nowadays, in my personal experience, I think it's to do with a lot of this problem with the hormone in our food and water. Because every woman, lots of women, especially in the city, nowadays in the world, taking contraception pills. When they're taking the pills and the pee, the urine get into the sort of sort of wastewater, and eventually being treated and in the water plant and back to the river, back to our sort of site recycled. So in fact, and the most of the sort of water treating plants or whatever, they cannot really completely clear those hormones. They're able to clear bacteria or other chemicals, but not able to clear hormone entirely. So the lots of them get into our food chain and water. That's why many girls, many women, become mature quite early, because there are lots of hormones stimulate, and because this kind of hormone is make your body grow faster and things like that. So unfortunately, this is a sort of a worldwide issues, not only in here, it's everywhere. So that's why, in fact, the fertility problem is a major issue in the world. Of course, there's other issues, because people, and used to be a lot of problem. Many even women have a problem with, let's say, menstrual problem, like period pain or irregular period. And unfortunately, the medicine that they get normally is the hormone, so, or the pills, in other words. So they make them in a way, when they're young, they take too much and make things wrong. So that's a problem. And also, when the woman have a sort of the stress nowadays, the work and the stress itself, emotional and distress, this is very much will affect. We call them in Chinese medicine, the stress very much affect liver. Liver is also very much affect this whole we call the qi, the energy. So which is means the cycle regularity, and then if you imagine, and if we sometimes we call it qi liver, people have this, liver qi stagnation or blocked. When liver qi is like blocked, or in other words, when you have lots of emotional stress, you get angry or not happy. So your chemical inside and all your body become very much acid in the blood. So you become everything tensed. So therefore, and then you feel very tense inside, and all that acid, the body, like you cannot conceive, because if you blood too acid, or if your body secretion too acid, it can kill the sperm anywhere. So the sperm is because they're so tiny, so they can't penetrate, get into because your body. So woman's body naturally kill them. So and they even make some tubes or clothes to make everything more tense. So that's why. So all these problem. So what we do in Chinese medicine, obviously, there are many of the which are called, in Western medicine, that is called IVF clinic, and all other way they called IVF or gift or whatever. The many different way of the sort of assist fertility. But the one things they are not good at, that they do more chemically. Let's say, if you do IVF, they want to take the sperm and takes eggs out, put externally first fertilizer, and hopefully put it back to your lady's body, they can survive. But this is a very, very low successful rate. In the overall, in UK, some hospital maybe 20, 25% or 30% very good, but mostly lower than 20, even lower than 15. So average is about 18% successful rate. So in other words, if you think about, 18 is not bad, but if you put the other way around, if you say, if your treatment is 83% or 80% fail rate, you think, that's really bad. So therefore, that's why, many ladies spend a fortune, try IVF, still get nowhere. So what do we do in Chinese medicine? So all these issues, some of the things we can't do, just we say, if it's really mechanical to block, then may need operation. But if it's not a mechanical problem, so we have this idea, number one, is make women, female system younger. In other words, more vitality, because we believe, even though you maybe you start feel very early or something, so we can help you to help your body to get this female hormone back to normal. So and that is in Chinese we call the kidney gene. So many women, we see they have a problem with the period. They're very tired. They're getting old quickly. Their eyes become dark. All these things we said it's to do with kidney weakness. So we have something to help the kidney with medicine, with something. And also another issue is that a lot of women nowadays, because of the diet and also because they want to lose weight, a lot of them, the eating control, so they don't have enough nutrients. So become quite anemic, or the blood, we call it poor blood. So that's, in fact, even in a rich country like England or UK, and there are lots of people who have a problem. And I see my patient. So we have to nourish the blood. So not only simply taking iron. People say, let's take some iron. Iron is one of the issues. It's not how much iron you're taking. In fact, it's whole spectrum of the nutrients we need replace. And more important, it's not simply nutrients. It's help your body to absorb them, to sort of assimilate them, to use them. So that's another thing. So we call this, the secondary is blood. So I said kidney and the blood. Thirdly, in Chinese medicine, we call it liver. As I said early on, liver is whole thing to regulate, including like woman's breast, woman's uterus, and everything. Lots of women have a period, before period or during a period, have a PMT, have their breast become very tender, the body very tense. So all these things, and they can affect fertility, if you don't balance them. And then in this case, in Chinese medicine, like acupuncture or some herbs are very good. So that's why, in fact, in many fertility clinics in London, this IVF clinic, they do even employ some doctors or some people to use acupuncture service. To acupuncture help the woman. And personally, I have helped many thousands of them. So make the hormone better, so regulate the cycle of the period without using the pills. So that's the way of Chinese medicine, and we try to help. And of course, there's another issue is because even you're pregnant, does not mean that's end of story, because it is also very important. Can you holding down? Many women after that get miscarriage. Can be early, can be late. This is very frustrating, and then this is the issues. So that's why in Chinese medicine we have a lot of talking about how you prepare your body, prepare women, particularly the uterus. Make sure the uterus the lining getting thicker and good enough to host the baby. So and they can fully sustain this 10 months of the pregnancy. And that's why, in fact, for the past 20, 25 years, in fact, we used to working in the Whittington Hospital for maternity clinic. We helped people, if they're pregnant, have a problem with acupuncture. It's quite good, because then they can help them, control, help the blood pressure, help the pain, help to reduce the, edema, or reduce the many things without using too much drugs. So this is the Chinese medicine what can do for this kind of problem. But of course, and I must stress, every case is individual. Every case is special. So we don't have such a remedy. Well, hang on these tablets. It's magic. You can make 10 babies after taking the tablets. There's no such things. And also, we say this is a medicine or this is acupuncture need points. You can do that for every woman. No, we have to assess individually for their person, their background, for their history, for the period, for their bleeding and all this information we need to know, and to see how their body, for example, what the tongue looks like, what the pulse feel like, many things. So this is I have to stress that. So I think this is just give you some idea. So as I said, I will talk about 30 minutes. So now it's about 30 minutes. So and now it's time for some questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that insightful talk, Professor Key. I'd just like to invite our audience members to either raise their hand if they'd like to ask a question or put some questions in the Q&A that we can ask Professor Key based on traditional Chinese medicine and fertility. Anything that you've heard tonight that you'd like to know a little bit more about. So I'll kick off with some questions whilst we're waiting for some of the audience to enter it in the chat there. So one of the questions is, do any lifestyle factors affect the effectiveness of traditional Chinese medicine for supporting fertility? So if we could ask that to begin with.
The answer is simply yes, because many people suffer from infertility, as I said, ladies, is because in other words, their body are not good enough. The system, and say the blood deficiency or the kidney, we call it weakness or liver stagnation. So the lifestyle is very important. For example, alcohol. If you consume too much alcohol for lady, it's very damaging for liver. A liver damage is very bad for fertility. That's number one. And when you're young, you don't realize. But when you want to try to get pregnant, it's difficult. And secondly, the blood. We say the blood we need to nourish, and not only need to nourish. In fact, in Chinese medicine, that's one very important. Not only the woman's blood need to be nourished, and also need to be warm. So because if the blood is too cold, they can't flow very well. They can easily cause congestions, such as period pain, clots, or even fibroids, or even endometriosis. So in this country, I've personally find there's a lot of women have a problem. They don't keep it warm. And either the young ladies, when you see in the winter, you see them go out, have a sort of wear mini skirt, in the cold. And the girls, very young age, they all go out very cold. I think that's wrong. So when you have the too cold, especially in your lower part of the body, and the whole uterus, that area, the blood is frozen. So when they're frozen, the blood can't flow very well. So, and then they will cause a lot of congestions. That's why, in fact, this is one of the reasons why the endometriosis form, because of the cold. So in other words, we need educated people, especially the ladies, around the period time. Keep body warm, eat warm, even drinking warm. That's why many people find the Chinese women go to restaurant, always want to drink hot water. What do you mean drink hot water? Why not drink icy water? I say, yes, no icy water, has to be hot.
And what is the view of traditional Chinese medicine in terms of hereditary conditions? Because conditions that you've mentioned, for example, like endometriosis, where it runs in the family, is it that they're coming from people who haven't kept their lower part of their body warm, as you say, or what's the sort of
this is yeah, I mean, any illness, there are always inherited issues that, like, you are who you are. Okay, so you can't change your genetic genes, but I don't think there's every problem are genetically caused, like as you mentioned, endometriosis. This is we never say this is caused by the genetic issues. is how your system. It could be, but in my it's more to do with how your lifestyle. So therefore, yes, if you have a family history of this period pain or something, that's because many women have a period pain. It's because of the naturally the womb, the shape have a little problem. So there's like if your mother have a narrow kind of sort of things, and then you become narrow. So this is genetical. But as far as the blood concern, is how your body look after the body, how it eat. So therefore, and of course, we if it's genetical issue, that's why we need to know the history, the background, family history, and personal history. But overall, yes, there are some kind of sort of family issues, but mainly it's down to yourself.
Thank you. And you've focused mainly on females in this webinar. I wondered if you could give a brief case study of where you've treated a male patient and what some of the possible issues may be for male infertility and how that has been treated in your practice.
Okay, let me just simply to tell you. For example, nowadays, I said that 25% of the males have a problem with the sperm, the quality or quantity. So we need, and nowadays the sperm quantity and quality all descending, come down compared with 20, 40, 50 years ago. So because all this lifestyle, food and diet. So I have been treating many people. For example, I have a gentleman who come to me, he's from Birmingham. He tried. The doctor said, "Oh, your sperm is bad. The motility, the number of sperm, everything's wrong, and they don't know what to do." And I said, "Well, in Chinese medicine, this is another issue. For male, we have similar issues. We have a kidney, we have we have some, the blood issues, water issues, particularly kidney and water. So if a man, and particularly those men, if their lifestyle is bad, drink too much in the past, the body sometimes is what we call overheated. When the body overheated, so the overheat, there's kind of hot body. You see some men even in the winter that they don't feel cold. I mean, they're strong men. But on the other hand, some people is overheating. So the overheating can cause problem with sperm. So when Chinese medicine, we try to reduce the heat, and the sperm can develop better quality, better quantity.
I see. So it's quite a contrast there, isn't it, when you think about the male and the female? In the woman, if there's heat, there's heat, but in the male, it's the
That's why
opposite.
Chinese called yin and yang. Men
Yes.
is yang. It's yang means fire. Woman is yin, mu, and it's cold water. So it's completely different issues.
Yeah, got you. Okay, so question here, can Chinese medicine help with premature ovarian insufficiency if egg count is low and periods are irregular?
Yeah, yes, definitely. This is one of the conditions we treat a lot. Because when you say your egg count is low, why egg is low? Because we call it the eggs. It's like your essence of your body. So your essence is not strong enough, not good enough. So what we want you to do, we need strength kidneys. We Chinese medicine, we say help the kidneys, make them better. So therefore they produce better eggs and more eggs. Of course, everybody, every lady, that in a lifetime, you only have a number of eggs in your sort of reserve. But sometimes if your body is not good enough, eggs become very easily wasted. They become not mature, and then they're wasted. So we need to make sure all the reserve you have are properly nourished, properly developed, and properly matured.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answers your question there for that question. And in your experience then, Professor, have you seen shrinkage in fibroids that have happened as a result of Chinese medicine and acupuncture?
Yeah, fibroid is one of the common issues. In fact, if you go to the street, take, let's say, 100 women around, let's say, 30, 40 this years old. You check them uterus, just randomly. You find out maybe even 30 to 50% of them have fibroids. So it's not big issues. Have a little lump, just like your skin, your face have grown little lump, little spots. It's nothing too bad. It's nothing too big issue. But issues, it becomes too big. And particularly if the fibroids, they grow inward, because like say if you see that like uterus, it's like little hole, little thing. If they grow outwards, it's not a big issue. If they grow inward, particularly in the occupied room, so there can be problem. So of course, doctor will say, "Oh, you need operation." Sure, that's the right way of answer. But do you really need operation? Can you try something before that? I think it's worthwhile to try, because if there's a way getting fibers, and there's always the way to reduce fibers. Just like your body, the skin on the face, you have a spot. You don't need to use surgery, cut off, remove every spot, don't you? You leave them, after a little while, they're gone. Where they're gone? Gone nowhere. So same, I've been personally treating quite a few people with fibers. So, and then they can shrink, they can reduce. And it's not impossible, but we need to. This is how we are, the Chinese medicine, treating the problem.
I see. Thank you. That's useful to hear. And another question that we have here, what can we do for ourselves at home to nourish the blood? So if it's in conjunction with traditional Chinese medicine and some of the treatments, what can people do at home to nourish the blood and improve vitality?
That's a good question. Now, obviously, first of all, even though we are supposedly so-called a rich country in the world, the lifestyle or every person should have enough food, but it's not how much you eat; it's the quality of the food. So, and number one, there's so many junk food, and around, and people realize that too much sugar, and too much, this fried food, and also too much alcohol, as I said. And all these things, in a small amount, it's okay, no problem. I even myself drink alcohol, eat some sugar sometimes. We are not saint. So we just have to live in a normal life. But on that hand, we have to be reasonable, and if you're a lady, over 25, 30, you think you're in the next few years, you're going to have a baby. So please don't drink too much, or stop drinking. Give your body a chance. Don't wait until you try, oh, I can't have a baby. And then I try so many times, I fail every time. You have to be wise, to be earlier to prepare your body. Same as the food. So therefore, definitely eat a lot of what we call them, meat, good, fish are good. All these sort of, vegetables, and particularly the dark green vegetables, they're good. And just normal amount of starch, fine. So all these food, nothing specific, but you need to be healthy and not eat too much junk food and too much alcohol, and also eat them warm for ladies, especially women. In the winter, now we're getting winter season, so eat everything warm. And particularly when your period coming around that cycle time, you need to keep warm, eating warm, and drinking warm.
I see. Okay. Well, that's hopefully answered your question there in terms of what you can do to nourish your blood. Another question that we have is, on average, what is the length of acupuncture treatment? So if somebody is trying to conceive, what would be the sort of average length of treatment that they would have prior to any trying to conceive, or whilst during trying to conceive?
Question. If it's a lady have a problem, I know a problem, like say endometriosis, fibroids, or something. So that's different. You need slightly longer time treating those conditions. Okay. If a woman nothing wrong, just simply regular period, not regular, nothing wrong, and then maybe I would have so-called prepare the body first before you conceive. So normally I ask them come to me, let's say 3 to 6 months prior you try to conceive. So 3 to 6 months prior you try to conceive. So I will prepare your body. So get your body, blood better, warm enough, flowing better, get your energy better. In other words, get your X better. So reduce your acidity in the blood, everything. So these things with 3 to 6 months to prepare.
Yeah, and I imagine it will be different depending on what stage they were in treatment. For example, if somebody was having IVF or assisted conception, or if they were having frozen embryo transfer, it would be dependent on what treatment they were having, or would it still be 3 to 6 months?
No, that's another issue. So if some people also in the same time to receive the IVF treatment, as for example, so this is another my skill as well. This is not written in old Chinese medicine because the old Chinese medicine has not such IVF. Okay, so these are new things. So what do we do? So for all these years, observe a study, we see how the woman react to the IVF. For example, if you pump lots of hormone, the body feels totally, it sort of feel bad. So in a way, we're using. So if that's doing this, then within the process, so they will tell me where are they. So they are in the preparation or taking the eggs or put it back into the body, different stage. So I would do different things. So in the preparation them, we need to get the system to be nourished, strong. If we're taking eggs that time, so we need to start to make sure the body calm, not reject. After put it into the body, we try to consolidate to stabilize. So make sure the body is not rejected.
Yeah, so that makes absolute sense there. Another question just come in, and we'll be closing questions shortly. So if you have a burning question, please do submit it in the chat or the Q&As, and then we will try to get to you before we close. So, for instance, if someone was to have a large fibroid, so say we're talking about 6 to 7 centimeters, with treatment, with traditional Chinese medicine treatment, would you say there is a sort of duration of time that you'd expect to see shrinkage of that fibroid after having treatment?
Well, this is another issue. How to treating fibroids? Yes, 6-7 centimeters. It is quite big, but not that big. We see somebody maybe 30-40 centimeters, big ones. So therefore, and of course, I told you we have to see where the fibers are located, whether to like protruding outwards or inwards or in between the muscles. So this is different. But even then, they still, have plenty of the cases in the past. Even not me or many other doctors, has managed to shrink them. This is one of the issues I want to talk this. Many doctors initially don't accept, Chinese medicine, how can you treat infertility? What is evidence you have? What is scientific evidence? Yes, though I don't have personally a lot of scientific evidence. Although there are many hospitals, many data, you can collect them, you can see, you can Google them. There are many hospitals, even China, will do lots of. But in overall, there's still not really hard evidence to say this is very good. Well, exactly, because Chinese medicine, we don't do like these sort of things as like say you have a one virus will killing you. That's it. No, because the infertility is a complicated issues, even mental issues. Okay, so therefore we don't have such. But overall, when you look at as a big picture, we got a big numbers. For the past 1,000 years, Chinese medicine has been look after Chinese people's, the birth, the life for a long time, and that's why China was the biggest country in terms of population in the world. Only lately, the Indian catch up because China have this 30-40 years policy, one child policy, so restricts birth. But otherwise, so Chinese fertility people are quite good from many 100,000 years ago to now. So this is all done by Chinese medicine. So I said, would that be good enough to figure the evidence? I think if any common sense will say that's true, and if our medicine is not working, people's health won't be good, fertility won't be good, because 200 years ago, Western medicine never get into China. So all these things done by Chinese medicine, the Chinese people's health, look after the woman. So in fact, that's what when I lecture to many people, we say Chinese medicine in UK or in the West, there are 3 major things that we are very successful. One is skin conditions. Eczema, psoriasis, we're doing very well. Secondly is the pain control. That's why we use acupuncture of the pain clinic. All the pain, back pain, joint pain, headaches. Thirdly is all these gynecological conditions, including fertility or infertility.
Thank you very much. Well, it sounds like having that holistic approach, you know, in terms of treating infertility is what is stands out in Chinese traditional Chinese medicine, which can differ from Western medicine. So there may be many people who prefer that approach, and as you say, are aware of the benefits of that.
Of course, Chinese medicine treating fertility for women, actually, nothing can lose. We're not pumping out lots of hormone, pumping in lots of hormone to you. You know, you change your system. No, in fact, we are getting your body stronger. Whether you're pregnant or not, it will help you anyway. So make your body look younger, make your, we call them, make your gene, make kidney better, make your blood better, and your skin will naturally get better, your hair better, your mood will better. And that's what, why not? Obviously, more, ultimately, will increasing the possibility for you to get pregnant.
Sure. And so coming to the last question. So I've got a question here from someone who is due to be starting their second round of IVF next month. Do you think there's any foods or any particular things that they can do to help this cycle to be successful?
Well, obviously, I have first. I want to say good luck for the lady, and hopefully successful this time. You know, I've been come across many people even tried it 10 times, all failed. So when they come to me, and I said, it is because your body not prepared. You know, doesn't matter how many times. Just like say, if you're tired of horse, you go to running, have a in a horse race, you never win. So we need to get your body strong. So yes, and obviously I can't give you really detailed advice for this lady. I mean, but you should follow what I said before. You know, healthy food, healthy living style, keep warm, and not too much alcohol to start with.
Okay, thank you. And then there'll be many people who have seen traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture services on the high street. You know, the many people will be familiar with that. What do you think about the effectiveness of those sort of setups and the practitioners who practice on the high street? Is there any things to be aware of and to avoid?
Well, this is it is a good question. I used to be the president of Chinese Medicine Association here, whatever. So I do know the background of practitioners in UK or in Europe. So they are so-called qualified, but qualified means you take a little course, some course to do something and to study. But does not mean you are expert in this area. So, and also particularly even some Chinese people, they may look like Chinese face, but they're not necessarily know very much Chinese medicine. You know, as I say, I'm a doctor teacher here. I teach many Chinese people as well as Western people. I used to teach in Chinese university. So it's not say, you know, every the corner shop, they are, you know, they're all expert in this area. I mean, they may be good in something, but I don't know. So that's why, you know, because in this country we are really not really have any statutory legislation about this sort of a whole practice. So we don't know. Even the Western doctors, same. You know, there's a good doctors, not so good doctors. Okay, same as a lawyer. So you always have to, you know, play by ear, see how lucky you are, you find one. So normally, you know, for example, in our clinic, with Asante, we've been here more than 25 years now. So practice, we work with hospitals. So we hardly advertising. You know, maybe many of the people who might talk today, you probably never heard Asante before, but because we didn't advertise. So, but now you check our website, you will see we've done lots of work in this area. We are very in our profession. So therefore, you need good luck, do research, find good ones, and of course. And then finally, you want to know more about Chinese medicine. In fact, I try to help people understand. I do a little bit of YouTube kind of sort of talks. So if you wish, just Google or YouTube my name and or Chinese medicine. They may come out some program. Just listen. So they'll be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can share any links to some of the YouTube talks as well that you've done. That would be really great for the people that are interested in finding more
Very good
about it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really delighted to have had you and your expertise to share with our attendees. They will be able to view this again if there's anything they want to go over or have any further questions, and can have a look at your services and what you offer at the Academy too. So I just want to close by telling everyone that please don't forget that we are your charity and we are here for you. If you need support, we have groups across the country and some UK-wide groups. And you can contact me, the Fertility Network UK Ethnic Minorities Community Project Worker. We also have a support line, and information lines are open every weekday. So please do not hesitate to get in touch and we will help you. Thank you all for joining us. What a massive big thank you again to Professor Key for joining us tonight, and wish you well with your evening. Please remember that the views that have been shared are those of traditional Chinese medicine, and so you obviously have to do your own research and do what you feel suits you on your fertility journey. But we hope that you've been able to hear from an expert in the field sharing about the approaches to supporting fertility using traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.